Hi, I'm Micah, resident pedal nerd here at Alpha Music.
Yay!
Thank you, John! You know, I got a lot of questions about pedals. The most common question I get is pedal sequence. What order should I have my pedals in? Disclaimer! These are just suggestions on how to set up your pedals. There are no rules with playing guitar, so feel free to experiment yourself. Alright, now most players start off with their tuner right in the front of their chain. There's two reasons that they're going to do this. The first reason is that when you're tuning, it'll kill the signal going to all of your other pedals, thus cutting down a lot of noise. The other reason is if you have your tuner late in your chain, after pedals such as chorus or flanger, it'll affect how well the pedal tunes. You'll probably end up with your guitar out of tune. Next we have our wah pedal. The advantage of having your wah in front of your overdrive or distortion is that oftentimes it sounds a lot smoother. When you have the wah later in your chain, it can sound very harsh and is not appealing to a lot of players. Next we have our overdrive and distortion. This is where you're getting most of your tone from, right here. You're really getting your basic sound out of these pedals and how they work with your amp. Next we have our modulation pedals. We shape our tone with our overdrives and then we affect it with these pedals. Things such as chorus, flanger, and phaser sound good on top of the tone that we've already created with our previous pedals. And then after all this, we got our delays and our reverbs. The idea here is that you want to use these pedals to affect the tone that you've already made with your overdrives, your distortions, your wahs, your modulation, etc., etc., etc. Now a quick rundown of why these pedals sound good in the order they're in. We'll start with our basic overdrive. Then we're going to add some phaser to that. Then, once we have that tone, we'll put delay on top of that. That's where it's going to sound best, because you take your sound that you got, then you add the delays to it. And then as awkward as it is playing it in reverse, I'm going to show you why the wah pedal's out here in front. When that's later in your chain, the highs at the peak of the wah can sound pretty harsh. Here you can get a close-up look at some of the pedals I'm using today. The Boss TU2 Chromatic Tuner, the Jeffrey Teese Picture Wah, the Silver LTD by Barber Electronics, the Visual Sound Son of Hyde Distortion, the MXR Script Logo Phase 90, Chorus X2 by Carl Martin, the classic Ibanez AD9 Analog Delay, and the Electro Harmonix Holy Grail Plus Reverb. And I'm running all of the pedals with the Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2 Plus. Now a little bit about how I have everything set up. Right here we have a Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2 Plus powering all the pedals. This is ideal. Why is this ideal? Because I say so! That's why! No, seriously. The reason for this is if you're running all of your pedals on just 9-volt batteries, the batteries can go dead, they can go low, and that can affect your sound, which is definitely not what you want in the middle of a performance. Between each of the pedals, I have just short interconnect cables. This is ideal because if you have a lot of long cables running all of your pedals together, your guitar signal will get really bogged down. It won't really sound as good by the time it gets to your amp. Remember, your chain is only as strong as your weakest link. So the better quality interconnect cables and power you have for all of your pedals, the better your overall sound's going to be. Now remember, the whole idea with playing guitar is about having fun and not following any rules. These are just suggestions on a proper way to set up your pedals. If you have any other ideas about how to set them up, feel free to experiment with your own pedals and see if a different order works better for you. And remember, there's a lot of other types of pedals out there, so I'll do a follow-up segment to cover pedals such as compression, envelope filters, EQ, and more. Here at Alpha Music, we have a wide variety and selection of pedals in stock, all available through our website, www.alpha-music.com. For Alpha Music, I'm resident pedal nerd Micah, telling you to keep the rock alive! Woo! Guitar was off. For Alpha Music, I'm resident pedal nerd Micah telling you to keep the rock alive.